So have y'all been watching the Ultimatum Queer Edition? We're gonna get into some things today because these couples need a good therapist. So let's get into it. This season we are brought upon 5 couples this time, all in different spaces. Some of them receive the ultimatum, some of them are the ones trying to figure it out. But to me, this show really broke the mold on dating and reality shows. There was so much meat to go over, so many things I have not seen done in other reality spaces when it comes to dating and relationships. And so let's get into it. I think first, because I know what y'all came here for. Okay, I know what y'all came here for. So first, we're going to get into Xander and Vanessa. And now, I'm a therapist, I'm an ally, but I don't know everything. So as a cisgender woman, I want you guys, when I make mistakes, educate me. This is a learning environment. I want to learn, okay? I might make mistakes on pronouns. So let me know in the comments when I make a mistake. I'm going to learn. Y'all going to learn from me, and I'm going to learn from y'all. So let's get into it. When it comes to Xander and Vanessa, Vanessa, you are not ready to get married. Cue the Mari music. Yes. This relationship to me, is really a prime example of a toxic relationship where one person is very much dominant and the other person is a softer one that kind of has to mold themselves to the other person's ego. In this relationship also, the ego of Vanessa is too big to hold this relationship. And Xander reminds me of someone who is coming into their queerness. Vanessa was probably the first person that they dated or was in a relationship with when they were trying to figure out their identity, their queerness, are they gay? And so since Vanessa is that first person, possibly, that Xander has been with, it just reminds me there's a lot of history there, a lot of trust. Like, this person sees me, this person knows me, probably because you were probably my first real queer experience. And so because of that, I think Vanessa has been able to latch on to the emotions, has been able to manipulate Xander. And to me, Vanessa came here for a check. She came here to be an influencer. Do I think she really thought that Xander was going to find somebody else? No, because when they did, that's when we started to see the wall, the mask of this ego-driven person start to crumble. You see that when she has a conversation with some of the other women on this show, they see past this, but because Xander has been in this relationship for so long, a lot of what they see in themselves, their need to be wanted, their need to feel seen, feeling like Vanessa really sees me, and y'all don't really get Vanessa, but we do. It's you that don't get Vanessa because it's all you're used to. And we see over and over again how ego-driven she is. It's almost like this show is a competition to her. She wants to win, but there's nothing really to win. And she's so hell-bent on winning that it gets in the way of a lot of her interactions with people. And in some other ways, I feel like Vanessa might have some narcissistic traits. Now, none of these people are my clients. I don't know them personally. I only know them from edited portrayals on this show. So will I label her a narcissist? No. I'm going to say she has traits of someone who has some narcissistic qualities and traits. She's very ego-driven. Everything is me, me, me. And I wanted to point out also, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but it feels like whenever there is a conflict or a miscommunication between her and Xander, she uses intimacy to try and distract from the main issue. When they get back together and Xander is trying to talk to her, can I sit on your lap? Girl, what does that have to do with right now? Okay, it's the physical distraction to distract you from the problem. If I can distract you with sex, physical intimacy, then you'll forget the problems. And I want to know how many people can relate to having a partner who has distracted you with sex or distracts you with something else. It could be gifts, it can be trips, it can be gifts, but purses, whatever. But oftentimes, in order to really get over an issue, you can't, because not both people are willing to come to the table and really talk about what is happening. So instead, we see Vanessa try and manipulate, try and control through intimacy. And I think she gets the shock of her life when she realizes Xander is really falling for somebody else, because I thought I was coming on this show for fame. I didn't really think my partner was going to find somebody, but she was wrong. Xander found somebody. I think Xander started to come more into feeling like, okay, like they said, they felt free. They felt like they have been in prison for so long. But yeah, it's just interesting to see how this couple, that dynamic of it is very toxic. To be honest, all these couples are toxic, okay? All these couples need therapy, but this one in particular really reminds me of the dynamic between dating someone who has narcissistic traits coupled with somebody who isn't the most secure. And narcissistic people tend to grasp on and latch on to people who don't have a lot of self-esteem, a lot of confidence, because they can dig their heels in and manipulate and control them. And I think once Vanessa started to realize Xander is falling for someone else, oh, I'm losing control, my power. What? My ego. Her father even pointed out that she was leading a lot with her ego. So let me know, do y'all think that this is a qualities of a narcissistic relationship? Do you think that you see yourself in this couple? Okay. So let me know in the comments, what do y'all think so far about Xander and Vanessa? Have you been in a relationship yourself similar to this? So we're gonna move on to our girl Yoli and Mel. Okay. Now Yoli, a lot of y'all for some reason are team Yoli, and I think it's because she's authentic, she's herself, and some of y'all see yourselves in her. But that authenticness, that honesty comes a lot with manipulation. There is a difference between being honest and authentic versus being, I think, honest and covert. I think she masks her honesty to me with manipulation. I think a lot of y'all are mistaken, because it's not the type of honesty you want in a friend or in a relationship. She's manipulative, and I think when she meets Xander, she falls easy. It's that, to me, anxious attachment. Even her partner says how she falls easily for people. And so Yoli, y'all gotta watch out for women like her, because it's a mess. It's a mess. Even when they were at the bar and they all linked up together, she made up excuses to go over there and see her boo. She's like, we've been DMing, we've been texting. And so the clear disrespect to me from my partner is sitting across from me right now. And all I can focus on is making up a lie to go over there and talk to Xander. And then when I get over there to talk to Xander, I'm going to make sure my partner cannot see me. Okay. And then when my partner comes over there and I'm having a conversation with Xander and Mildred, I'm going to lie and say something so I can stay over here. There's a lot of manipulation. So for me, Yoli is somebody that you have to watch out for, because some of you guys are identifying with the wrong characteristics and identifying with the surface level things that you see. And when it comes to Mel, something about her, I'm still trying to figure them out, because I think that she, amongst all the couples, is the most level head in some ways, but there's still something there that I cannot put my finger on. It always concerns me when people always have the right things to say. Okay. And Mel seems like somebody who, it seems like she always says the right thing at times. And it's like, okay, I want to know more about you outside of your relationship with Yoli. Who are you as a person? They remind me of somebody who has poured so much into the relationship they have lost themselves. Even her own friend is like, girl, what are you doing? Okay, what is going on? Blink twice. What do y'all think of this friendship relationship between Mel and their friend? It's also interesting how the friends show up very differently than what we see in last season of Love is Blind now. So with them, I don't think that they need to be together. It really feels like roommates with some benefits. There's some intimacy there, here and there, but it really gives me like roommates, history. We are staying together for the sake of history. I also do not like how whenever Mel approaches Xander about, will you accept all of Yoli, it's always all the negative stuff. I don't need you to point out all the negative things about me, okay? I'm standing right here, okay? And so I think Mel, it's a little too late. I think before the ultimatum, Yoli was probably already checked out, y'all. A lot of people use giving an ultimatum as a soft launch of an extra strategy because they want out of the relationship, but maybe they don't have the courage, the financial means to really walk away from this relationship. So I think the ultimatum was, to me, like a soft exit strategy. She was already checked out before the show started, but then she met Xander, and that just increased her willingness to want to leave. And so when Xander is actually, hey, you know, I'm down to leave. You want to get married? I love you. You do? Okay, I love you too. As they're, you know, playing footsies. But then Yoli's like, I don't know. Girl, what do you want? You can't have your cake and eat it too. I feel like Yoli is really a kid in a candy store that's just like, ooh, I like this one. I like this one. This one tastes good. No pun intended. This one tastes good, but can I just have them both? Maybe the right thing for Yoli is a polyamorous relationship where she can have her cake and eat it too. But her being in a monogamous relationship right now, I don't think it's for her. So let me know, what do y'all think of the dynamic between Mel and Yoli? Do you think it's roommates? Because to me, it's giving roommates. They don't need to be together. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Even when they were doing the decision day and Yoli was like, I just don't know. I don't understand how Yoli can say that she's in love with Xander and you still propose Mel. What were you thinking? And was that out of desperation? Because I really don't see how after all this you can still want to put a ring on it. This is a prime example of people ignoring the red flags out of desperation, out of, I need to feel connected, I need to feel seen. Okay. So both these couples, I don't think they need to be together. Okay. But let me know, what do y'all think? Do they remind y'all of roommates who are just like, for the sake of things, finances, just living together? And let me know. Okay. So let's move on to Lexi and Ray. I don't have much to really say about them. It really is giving like sisters in a relationship, a little incestuous, but I think Lexi is, for some reason, at times she seems obsessive about Vanessa. I don't get what it is about Vanessa that triggers her so much, where at times, I don't know, she just seems really to ruminate over Vanessa as a person. It's like, I get that your girlfriend cheated on you with her, but if you're gonna stay with Ray, you have to forgive. You have to decide to move on, but she's so caught up in Vanessa, and that I don't really know, like, what really is it about Vanessa? Like, she's manipulative, we get that, but I'm not gonna let a person rent free space in my head. So I'm wondering what it is about her. And Ray has to work on having more of a voice. Ray has to work on discovering Ray. I think this experience hopefully will teach her to have more of a voice, be more comfortable in her own skin. But Lexi is very dominating, very type A. I am type A, but not like Lexi. So let me know. Other than that, I don't really know what to say about them. I don't really know. Okay, so who do y'all want to talk about next? Let's move on to Mildred and Tiff. Now, Mildred has a lot of childhood trauma issues. You see that her trauma is really at the forefront of her interactions with people, her behaviors. She really, to me, is reenacting the abandonment that she has been feeling and has been done to her by her mom, her father, probably other relationships too. Just really having a tantrum, really avoidant, really trying to control. A lot of that childhood trauma is at the forefront, and she cannot have a healthy relationship until she deals with that trauma. And you see how her partner, I think, has a lot of growth, a lot of accountability, a lot of self-reflection, where at the beginning, I wasn't quite sure if she was going to have a lot of growth, but then she did. And so Mildred seems like she just has not changed. And you cannot use your culture, your race, your ethnicity as an excuse to disrespect people, talk over them, dominate. She has to work on that parental trauma. Because if she doesn't, that trauma is going to continue to have control over her. It makes me wonder, what is her relationship like with her son? Is she overpowering? Is she dominating? Does she talk all over him too? But she has a lot of mother wounds, father wounds, a lot of abandonment that is resurfacing in her relationship, a lot of avoiding things, not wanting to talk or hear your partner talk. Once again, she needs to be in a therapist's office, not on this TV show, not in a relationship. I love the growth in Tiffany. She still has a lot of work to do on herself. They all do, but you cannot say that she did not have a lot of growth. Okay. Now that dog thing, let me know about dogs in the bed. I don't have a dog, so y'all let me know. What do y'all think about the whole situation with her and Sam and the dog in the bed? Let me know. Now let's get to Aussie. Aussie to me might have some avoidant personality disorder traits. Just the way that they are able to, you know what, I'm done. I'm gonna pack up my stuff and I'm gonna leave. I was also wondering, how is it that production kept letting them do this over and over again? And I also wonder, where did she go for that week and just came back? But there's a lot of internalized issues because of their identity, their queerness, a lot of parental and cultural things happening. I also wonder if Aussie has some like gender dysphoria type things going on, because it just seems like there's a lot of confusion about how she identifies, how they identify. And Sam is really just, to me, a security blanket. Okay. I don't see this relationship really going far. She doesn't want to get married. There's a lot of confusion about her as a person. Sam is just there. I don't get their relationship. It comes off to me as like mother-daughter. I also wonder what the age gap is between these two women. But to me, it's not going to work. I'm glad that Sam learned how to have more of a voice also. And you notice how the more Sam started to have a voice, the more avoidant Aussie became. Sam was growing as a person. And I see that a lot in my couples therapy. Sometimes I see couples for only, one or two times. It's more of the narcissistic couples that come in. I only see them 1 or 2 times because that partner starts learning from me that they can have a voice. They can say something. They can speak up. And the narcissistic person in the relationship is like, oh, we're not coming back because I need my partner to be insecure. I need them to stay right where they are. And I did come here because I thought you were going to tell me that my partner was the problem, but instead you're helping my partner have a voice. And that does not work in the dynamic of our relationship. So that's why I think some of my couples only last 2 to 3 sessions. I noticed that they don't really respond well when that partner who has been quiet and secure for so long starts to have a voice. And so there's a parallel happening in the same thing here, is that Aussie is just so avoidant of so many things, so many issues. I don't know how Sam has stayed with them for so long. Sam really has to work through those mental health things, that trauma, because it also, I think, is not only impacting her relationship, but their dynamic with other people. Okay. And I hope that all these couples, no matter how it ends for them, they need therapy. They need to work on these traumatic issues. Netflix really needs a therapist on set, or some kind of coaches to come in on the Ultimatum, similar to Married at First Sight, where they come in and they talk to them and have different conversations, because there are a lot of issues here. Some that I think create ratings, but what is the mental health harm on the couples when the show is over? So what are your thoughts on some of these couples? Do you recognize yourself? Have you been in relationships like this before? Do some of these couples fit the stereotype of some lesbian relationships? Let me know your thoughts. This is my deep dive on some of the couples of Ultimatum, and I'll see you next time.